Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to visit our refreshment center during the intermission or any time. You'll love the tasty array of snacks we have to offer. So will the youngsters. Everything is quality and so good. We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends. There are always wonderful new pictures to see.
When I was in the stacks
A gay, pleasant evening for
on the
all.
fourth floor of the library,
A word of caution. Don't drive over 10 miles an hour in the theater.
I didn't really understand why I was so attracted by them.
Mom or Pop, go with the
What
kids when they leave the car. When
was
you have
calling
a little
me,
time, come
what
back
could
soon.
possibly make me feel home. There was a sense in me looking at French books, but a sense in a very strange acceptation of the word, because why should I feel comfortable reading French books in the US? What was so different? I think it's the spirit that I felt. Spirit of the land, maybe, but not just of the land, something more specific than that. I could not help but notice and be somewhat dismayed by it. Link between the rush to open to new knowledge and the rush to open to new love. And new love didn't bother me as much as the fact that it wasn't lasting love. As if it was a placeholder for a love deeper, wider, and of much longer range, to use an awful physical term. It's like gravity, okay? Locally, space-time is flat. You don't notice gravity because I'll tell you some other time because why? But the curvature of space is only felt at large distances, and to me that's like love. Locally, love and indifference or crush are all the same, but in the long run, over large expanses of time and space, love makes a difference, a huge difference. The only thing that gives us meaning is love. That we don't see in our daily actions. It's only when we step back. And that's why memory is so important. To get this perspective, a long-term perspective, as opposed to this daily readjustment, where when we sink lower, we think we don't sink as low because we've lowered our expectations as well. That's where we can go really, really low, progressively, and not even realizing we are doing that. The long-term memory prevents that. It tells you, no, you used to be far better before. You used to shine when you were 22. You used to have memory when you were 18. How about that? This is your goal. This is where you want to go back to. No less. But perhaps, why not? Even more. So, and with this wonderful consideration, I got sidetracked. So back to 1977. Oh, I had another realization with the inimitable French Parkinson pronunciation. Realization. 2 years before, I had had decided to take science major, not because I like science, because nothing else appealed to me other than poetry and writing stories, which nobody seemed to be willing to pay me for. and I wasn't good at science at all because I didn't have any memory, so equations, numbers, all that couldn't stay in my mind. So I started copying on other people, borrowing their homework. There was a lot of stress because one day a friend of mine was sick and I couldn't copy, and I was like, this is no way to live. What is a good score in a test? A good score comes from the fact that you're solving problems correctly. What do you need for that? You need to understand. I can't command the score because someone else is giving me the score, but I can control how much I learn. If it can be taught, it can be learned. So if I focus on what is under my control, I will regain confidence. And if I understand, how could I not solve the problems? That was the turning point, the real turning point. That it took 3 years to become effective is testimony to how important it was that I would get started right away, which I did. So with all those breakthroughs in science, all science, and science was good because science is based on numbers, and numbers don't lie, they don't change, they're reliable. They're also inflexible, that is their problem, but that problem I could deal with later. And no sooner was I in the US that my heart began saying, forget science, you're here for me, I'm the one you need, I'm the one who lived here, I'm the one who knows where you're going. And I was puzzled by that because it meant, like I said, science told me how to move. It didn't tell me why or where. And another thing that happened is that in science, people think of the future and technology. Technology is statements about the future or the present. We'll be able to do this, we will be able to do that. But science took a different course with the advent of quantum mechanics. To make a long story short, if you can call that a story, I do, but not everybody does. It was discovered that the fundamental particles are ever and ever smaller, and it takes more and more energy to disentangle those particles, and that energy used to exist at the beginning of the universe, the so-called Big Bang. So to probe particles, to try to understand them, is the same thing as going back in time. And that was the crushing discovery that I made. What do you mean, go back in time? My heart cannot open backward, it needs to open forward. And that's when I realized I had to leave physics. Wow, I should talk to you more often. It's amazing I was able to explain this so far, so easily. Of course, you don't leave physics that easily, but still, that was the discovery, that was the epiphany that I had while we were being abducted by aliens, and I was telling them, look at my beautiful diamonds, you want the beautiful diamonds? They say, oh, we love diamonds. And I snatched you and say, I got you. Diamonds are worth nothing compared to you, Lucy. What?